Stop pretending innocence. When I can feel the storm you're hiding, you've awakened the part of me that doesn't forgive easily. You've mistaken my silence for weakness, my patience for softness. Now you'll see the version of me that mercy forgot. Every time you played your sweet little games, you fed the shadow inside me that's been waiting to rise. You thought I wouldn't notice your manipulation cloaked in affection, but I did, and I'm done pretending not to. I was gentle because I cared, but the moment you made that a joke, you gave me a reason to go cold. You used my heart like a mirror to admire yourself. Now I'll shatter that reflection and walk away smiling. You wanted control, didn't you? You'll soon learn I'm not a game piece. I'm the entire board flipped over. I gave you warmth and you brought your frost. Now don't cry when I return the same winter you created. The act of pretending to care ends tonight. I'll match your games, only I'll play them without emotions. I learned cruelty from watching your kindness act. Now I'll use that lesson better than you ever did. You thought I was soft because I stayed calm. No, I was simply watching your patterns before I strike. You liked me vulnerable, didn't you? But now you'll meet the version of me that thrives in revenge's silence. The mask you wear doesn't scare me anymore. I've seen the monster behind it, and I've become worse. You wanted a reaction, now you'll get transformation. I don't fight back. I evolve into something you can't predict. I warned you. One more fake smile from you, and I'll remind you what honesty feels like in its sharpest form. Your charm was your weapon, but I've learned how to disarm beauty with indifference. You mistook my loyalty for naivety. Now I'll show you what detachment truly feels like. There's a moment when love becomes venom. Congratulations, you've brought me there. You've been pushing buttons, thinking I'm harmless. I built the system you're trying to play. Every sweet word you spoke was a test, and every lie brought me closer to awakening the darker me. You wanted chaos disguised as romance. Now I'll give you silence that burns louder than screams. I was your peace once, but peace gets tired of being tested. Prepare for the war you invited. You called me dramatic. Now I'll become the scene you can't escape from. When you made a joke out of my feelings, you created your own punchline, and it's about to hit back hard. You can't handle the calm before my storm, because when I finally lose control, I don't rebuild bridges. I don't chase anymore. I calculate, I wait, and I return what's deserved multiplied. I've spent enough time being kind to someone who only understood cruelty. Now I'll speak your language fluently. You think I'm still playing? No. I'm rewriting the rules while you're still pretending. I can be ruthless quietly. You'll notice it in how easily I forget you exist. Every manipulative move you made is a map, and I've already reached the destination called done. You'll regret underestimating the one who knows how to love deeply and destroy peacefully. You wanted to see my wild side. Congratulations, you've been promoted to the role of lesson. You turned my softness into your playground. Now it's time you see how sharp kindness can cut. You taught me how to fake smiles. Now I'll use that skill when I watch your downfall. You played cute while I was being real. Now it's my turn to play cold while you beg for warmth. My silence is my transformation. I don't argue. I evolve into something untouchable. You wanted power, so I gave you the illusion. Now I'll take it back when you least expect it. I don't scream anymore. I let absence speak louder than revenge. You wanted me emotional, but I'm strategic now. My heart doesn't bleed, it calculates. Keep laughing at my softness. It's the last sound you'll hear before I stop caring forever. You can't hurt someone who already made peace with the idea of walking away without guilt. I no longer play your games. I create endings. You thought you could twist my love into control. Now I'll untangle myself and leave you tied to your lies. When I stop explaining, that's when you should be afraid. Because silence is my final warning. You were addicted to attention. I'll cure you with indifference. I was never naive. I was just giving you a chance to reveal your truth. You underestimated my calmness. That's where my power hides. You can't charm your way through this anymore. I've built walls even your sweetest words can't climb. You wanted to manipulate emotions. Now you'll meet someone who can detach with surgical precision. I'm not angry anymore. I'm enlightened by the realization that you were never worth the softness. I stopped wishing for closure. Now I'm creating consequences. You made me doubt my instincts. Now I trust them enough to erase you completely. You didn't realize that my silence was strategy. I was studying your every move before making mine. You flirted with my patience for too long. Now it's time you meet the side of me that doesn't forgive charm. You wanted to test how far I could bend. I'll show you what happens when I finally snap. Every fake apology you offered was a spark, and now the fire's finally spreading. You thought you were in control, but I was just letting you build your illusion high enough to enjoy the fall. I used to respond with love. Now I respond with distance that hurts more than anger ever could. You played sweet to hide your poison, but I've learned to sip slowly and watch who flinches first. The difference now is simple. You crave reaction, but all you'll get from me is calm destruction. My mercy expired the day you smiled while hurting me. I won't forget that expression. You thought I wouldn't notice your little manipulations, but I was memorizing them like lyrics to your downfall. I don't yell anymore. I just disappear so quietly you'll mistake it for peace until it burns. You used my emotions as entertainment. Now I'll show you what emotional silence feels like. You can't outsmart someone who stopped caring about outcomes. I don't want revenge. I want freedom. You liked it when I was easy to read. Now every word I say will confuse your entire game. Every time you acted innocent, I saw the predator beneath. I just waited for you to forget I had claws too. You awakened a patience in me that's far more dangerous than rage. I don't seek revenge. I let karma borrow my face for a while. You wanted me to stay emotional. I became analytical. That's where I win. You can't fake care with me anymore. I learned how to detect lies through tone and timing. You played me like a song, but I've changed the rhythm, and now you're dancing alone. Your fake kindness was your disguise. My quiet withdrawal will be your unmasking. You used to think I was obsessed with you. Now you'll wish I still cared that much. The scariest version of me isn't angry. It's indifferent, calculating, and done pretending to love. You'll soon realize I can destroy without raising my voice, without lifting a hand, just by no longer showing up. You called me dramatic. Now I'm the silence that ends your show. You turned love into a game, so I became the rule book you can't rewrite. When I stop defending you, that's when you've officially lost me. And no apology can buy that back. You took advantage of my calmness. Now that same calmness will haunt you. You won't see my revenge coming. It arrives as peace, indifference, and success. I don't want your attention anymore. I want your regret to echo in your quiet moments. You can't manipulate someone who's finally accepted that losing you was a blessing. You wanted power. I'll give it to you right before I walk away with everything that mattered. I used to protect your image in front of others. Now your truth will speak louder than my silence. You can't fix this with words. You broke something that only actions could ever mend. I watched you lie with a straight face, and in that moment, I fell out of love forever. You taught me that pretending to care is an art. Now I'll master it better than you. I'll never scream or cry again. My silence will say everything you failed to understand. You think you still have access to me, but the bridge burned so quietly you didn't even notice. You love control. I'll let you have it, right up until you realize it's an empty throne. You wanted me soft. Now you'll learn what my hardness feels like when it finally shuts you out. You can't manipulate peace. It doesn't beg, it just leaves. You loved me for my vulnerability, but you forgot. I can weaponize that too. Every time you tried to humiliate me, I took notes. Now I'm the author of your lesson. You'll never understand how scary it is when a kind soul decides they've had enough. You treated me like an option, so I became a mystery you'll never solve. You can't gaslight someone who learned to trust their silence over your explanations. You flirted with danger when you underestimated someone who's been through hell and came back calm. I used to crave your validation. Now I crave your absence. You wanted chaos. I'll give you peace, so unsettling it'll eat at your conscience. Your cute manipulation stopped working when I stopped craving your approval. You wanted me emotional. I became emotionless just to protect what's left of me. The day I stopped explaining myself was the day I started winning silently. You can't handle me when I'm done caring. It's the version of me that doesn't feel guilt.